Hello, Capricorn. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Morgan Greer Tarot. I almost said the Tarot Illuminati, which I use a lot, but my face itches like crazy all of a sudden. Old deck that I'm using today. Ooh. Why is my face itching all of a sudden? Wow. You Are Clairvoyant Oracle Cards by Belinda Grace, illustrations by Elaine Marson is for the supportive Oracle cards. Okay, that way if you want to find those people or other decks they might have done, that's how you spell their names. Good? Good. Ooh, you're starting that off really good. Where's this going? Okay, this is very interesting. Because you're already starting off with really, like, already achieving something. And you got more you want to do. That's what it is. That's very interesting. Okay. This card, there's a card coming up, but sometimes it's used to identify a Capricorn in the situation. I'll just show it to you. This is the card coming up, but this, ironically, it's making peace with it and knowing what to do with it. Because you know what, you don't get through life without dealing with this energy. You don't. But it's seeing it, getting ready for it, and handling it. That's what makes, you know, that moment the best. Because it's going to happen. And what I'm getting is you're starting off with, because this is what's going to lead up to this moment, you're starting off with something really, really good. You got blessings and rewards. So it feels like when this new situation is starting to take shape, you're already at a point in another situation that's going very well. It's like you're hitting the pinnacle of something. It's almost like when you finally finish that project that you've been meaning to finish, or you know, you've been working at making some extra money and you're hitting that sweet spot where you're finally making the money you were expecting to make. You know, or it's like when you're learning a course and you're completing that course and you've finally got a point in that knowledge. Maybe you're not completed, maybe you're not done with the course, but you've gotten far enough to where you feel like you can apply what you've learned and you're able to actually apply some knowledge. That's the blessings with the rewards. Kind of like life has been giving you stuff, giving you opportunities. You've been learning from these opportunities, and now you're able to apply them other places. And that's what I'm getting with the blessings and rewards for you. This is also giving you a moment to where, you know, I've accumulated enough information to apply this other places, and now the world is coming in with the Two of Pentacles, and is that the Two of Wands? It's the Five of Wands. I also want to mention, like, my face is itching, and I'm seeing, like, I feel like you're doing really well at this moment, but there might be a lot of little aggravations at the same time. Kind of like you know what to do, you're making things good, you're making good on information you have, but there might be a lot of small obstacles in your way that are not stopping you or not even really slowing you down, but it might be obnoxious. And then my dog, you know, yawns like 5 feet away from the camera. There you go, another example. I'm noticing that there's a lot of petty aggravations. Be aware of that. I feel like if you're expecting those aggravations, they'll annoy you less. Kind of like, well, you know, the next week it's going to be a lot of that. It's just going to keep happening. If you just kind of like make peace with it, like it's going to keep happening. There's going to be these little aggravations that keep coming in. It's not going to like bother you as much. You're still not going to enjoy these little aggravations, but it's going to bother you less. Because I'm getting what you're going towards is a whole new arena with this new information. See, kind of like, I feel like things went off track for a minute there when I was explaining things, but I feel like that's another example about what's happening. You have an idea, you got new information, you want to apply it other places, but things keep taking you off path, and you have to like, I'm going this way, all right, let me go take care of that. All right, that's done. Okay, back on path. Oh, I gotta go deal with this. All right, back on path. Oh, again, another thing. And like, it's aggravating, but you're not gonna be swayed far enough to take you away from your final goal. I feel like when I'm saying that, if you really connect with Capricorn energy, you're like, oh, I know. Oh, no, I'm not letting people take me completely off my goal. So you probably already know that. But that keeps happening. It's like, I feel like you're getting pulled here and like, all right, back on center. Oh, I got to go deal with that. All right, back on center. That might be the theme. I wonder if that's partly what you're heading for with this devil card moment. Because it seems like these little side things and aggravations keep getting in your way. And you got ideas and plans that you want to execute here. And these things are getting in your way. In the environment, people are very appreciative and need your help. But they're pulling you off plan a lot. It's kind of like, I only have so much time in a day, and these people keep taking the extra time I need to move forward. It's not completely taking you off plan, but it's not even slowing you down is the thing. But it just makes things more stressful. It definitely makes things more stressful, even for Capricorn. Because it's kind of like, I have goals, and I want things done at a certain time. It's not taking you off plan, like the plan will still go off in the same time it was, but it's kind of like, if you look at the plan of a day, like at 9 o'clock I was going to do this, at 3 o'clock I was going to do that. If somebody gets in your way and at 9 o'clock you can't do what you want to do, so you have to wait till 10:30, 11. What you wanted to do at 3, somebody gets in your way there too. It's like 7, 8 o'clock at night before you're able to do it. You still do it, but it's aggravating, if that makes sense. That's what I'm getting. Like, this seems to be like a bigger problem going forward. So it's almost like seeing it happen in the beginning, getting more used to it in the beginning, sets you up for better success later, because you're like, yep, it's been happening the whole time. So when it gets worse later, and I think it's going to get worse later, it's less of an aggravation, because you're like, yeah, it's been happening the whole time, and I knew it was going to get worse. So it doesn't aggravate you as much. The more aggravation you have in the situation, it just takes that much more joy from you. And why allow that to happen? You know what I mean? Why allow that to happen? Now, whatever's pulling you to the side, like, people are really pulling on your heartstrings. Like, I feel like some of you you're at first like, no, I can't help you. I don't have time. I can't help you. And then you're like, oh, all right, I'll go help them. It seems like it's that energy keeps happening. Like, no, I have things to do. I can't help you today. Then you're like, all right, I have to go help them. And you go help them. It just seems like you're kind of like, no, I got things to do. I'll help you later, another time. And then it just keeps playing on your brain, and you're just like, oh, I'll just go do it and get it done with. I'll just go do it. And then you just go and do it. Because it seems like that keeps happening. Like, people need your help. You're trying to make them wait, but then it seems to bother you, kind of like, maybe they really can't. They're really in a lot of stress. All right, let me go save them from their stress. I see that keep happening. Things keep pulling you off point, but you're not gonna lose your goal. Now, there comes a point where you want to do things. You have things you want to do, and I feel like this becomes more and more of a thing. It becomes more and more disruptive. People getting in your way constantly. It just keeps getting worse. On your side, I feel like there's going to come a point where the only way you're going to come to peace with this is if you find somebody else to take on some of this load. So in other words, if this is a work thing and you have a project you're trying to work on, you might have to get a colleague or two to kind of, step in and, block some problems here, or take on some of these issues so that somebody else can take over a little bit here and there, so you can get this main situation done. If it's a family situation, you might have to call in another relative to be your middleman, to I have some things I got to do. Can you just kind of if I have issues or somebody's having a problem, can you keep an eye on them? Or this person keeps needing my help, can you keep checking on them to try to help them out a little more so that I can keep doing what I want to do, and then I'll keep helping them, obviously, but then I won't have to spend as much time with that. I feel like you're calling on other people. When I'm getting meeting of angels with peace and meditation, especially in the environment, you're trying to find somebody else to help mitigate the need here. This moment here altogether might be stressful. This is literally where this card shows up, which I've been showing you the whole time, the Devil card, which can talk about, it can be denoting Capricorn energy, this is saying, when I'm feeling this, I have to be honest, especially because it's a Capricorn reading, this could be a power moment if you're able to play it well. To kind of I have somebody else who can step in and do this for me and help this other person out. I may not like the way they're going to do that, but I'll be able to keep doing my goal, keep going towards my goal, and that other situation will be taken care of and will be successful. It may not play out per what I would like it to, but it will be good for the situation. It'll still be a good outcome, just not the outcome I originally would have worked towards. Maybe not the way I would have done it, but that could be okay. So it's kind of like, can this be your power moment? It's kind of up to you, especially because it's a Capricorn reading. Because you kind of have to give in a little bit and be like, you know what, that's going to go away. I don't really want it to go, but it'll still be good. The question is, which means more to me? Going towards my goal here and getting that back on point the way I want it to, or, trying to keep control of this other situation and letting this pull me off base a little more. So it's kind of like you have to answer that for yourself. Can I give this to somebody else? Hand this thing over here over to somebody else and let them just do what they want with it? No, it's going to work out, just not the way I wanted it to. Or do I need to keep my feet in both boats here? It's literally up to you. Justice is coming out. What's behind justice? Okay. How do I put this? If you keep your feet in both boats, if you keep your foot in one boat, if you have two boats and you got one foot in each boat, just think of that. Like if you have two rowboats and you got a foot in each boat, it takes a lot of strength to keep those boats where they're supposed to be. You got to keep your legs strong and together. If you kind of if you don't keep concentration, you might end up doing the splits and then end up in the water. So I'm just saying, if you center on one boat instead of the other, you can dedicate your energy towards that direction and get success with that direction. But if you keep your feet in both boats, you got to keep really strong concentration to keep them together and keep them on point. And if you relax for a second, you could end up doing the splits and end up in the water. I'm just saying. The advice here is, like, if you want justice, what's holding justice up is the Three of Cups, which is saying rely on other people to take care of the other situation. Let it go. It's not the easiest thing, but if you want success in your original plan, that's okay. But you're the one that has to make that choice. For those of you this is going to be resonating with, it's basically you got to make that choice. You literally have to make that choice. Once it's done, once you decide left or right, if you're going to keep your feet in both boats or if you're going to let one go, literally you're the one deciding. Whoever you're dealing with is subject to your decision, is what I'm getting with the Hanged Man. There's going to be a lot more work they have to do either way, but you have to decide whether you're the one leading both situations or if you're going to let one of them go so you can have your original success. Some of you can do both. Not all of you, definitely not all of you. Some of you can, but again, foot in each boat, the concentration, and it's gonna be a lot of work and it's gonna be hard and you're not gonna enjoy it. Like, I can't see you enjoying holding both boats together with one foot in each. It's gonna be a lot of work. You don't have to do that to yourself, and it's up to you because the other person has to do their own work either way. Letting somebody else take over on that might be better. Also, what I'm getting is your original goal. You've learned a lot of information, but you haven't learned everything in that situation. There's more to be learned, and there's more that you want to learn there. So this makes this even more complicated. If you have your feet in both boats, and you're trying to take care of one situation, and then you come to a point on the other, like, in situation one, you're trying to take care of this for somebody else and lead them in that, in situation one. Then situation two is what means something to you, and you get to this point where you want to learn more and you want to progress more and you want to elevate that to the next level. You want to start building more in that arena. It was hard enough keeping them together as it was, but now this is kind of like one of these boats has like an engine at the back of it all of a sudden. And you're kind of like, now you're trying to keep them both together, and you got one that's got pushed, you got some momentum behind it. This gets more complicated because you're going to want to learn more in that one situation. It makes it really complicated. Finding that mentor, you're going to find that mentor is what I'm actually getting. You're going to find that mentor, and you're going to want that person to help you and learn from that person, and you're a give-take person. If somebody gives to you, you're going to want to give back. Adds another level of complication here. At least the Capricorns I know, they're give and take people. Like, I'll give to this situation, you give back to me. Somebody gives to you, you want to give back. That's the balance. It seems to be the natural thing for Capricorn to just do that. That seems to be making the most sense. It's up to you. I'm getting you want to let that one boat go. The Empress is coming in here. If for some reason you decide to do both boats, and then it gets a little bit more complicated, you will have another chance to change your mind. You're just going to find it more difficult. It's going to be more stressful for you to do that. I feel like you're going to have a hard time doing that. It's just going to be really hard. The Empress comes in here to try to help you, but when I'm feeling the Empress, I'm feeling this energy kind of like somebody stepping in and trying to take over for you, and you might not like that. It can help you a lot, but it's you being at peace with that is hard. Literally, the whole thing about this reading is kind of like when you get the chance to step away and let somebody else take care of that other situation, even though I'm getting there's going to be pieces you're not going to like about it, let it go. Let somebody else take care of that and stay on your path. You seem to have success either way, but the stress if you don't let that other one go, it gets really heavy, even for a Capricorn. And I know you guys can take on a lot, but like, why do that to yourself? Why put yourself through that? Why torture yourself when you can enjoy this path you're taking? You can enjoy it, or you can torture yourself and keep it. One of the two. So why torture yourself? Up to you. It's completely your bag, what you decide to do with it. But hopefully if this reading comes at the right time, it puts you in a position to make a decision you're comfortable with. All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.